Might not be the same old this season. The offense needs to change. The defense needs to rise. There's all kinds of things, but it's definitely going to be Kansas City brand of football, despite what all those pundits say. We're going to get to your questions and our thoughts on this whole topic today on RGR Football. Welcome back, friends and neighbors. This is Dan Harms. I'm Ryan Tracy. This is RGR Football, where we talk Chiefs and NFL. And if you happen to be a fan of a team that doesn't wear red and gold, welcome, but let's be nice. Mon Mama's in the house, and I think that's a good sign for you guys. We have a lot to go over. This is the Monday Night Q&A. We're going to answer all of your questions, certainly all of your super chats. We thank you for supporting the channel. The first thing you can do if you want to support us is become a sub. Click the like on this video, click the sub to become one of us, and click that bell so you know what's going on, because Dan and I have all kinds of stuff coming out and all kinds of ideas in the masher, right, man?
Always, like every day. We have to make two videos a week, so I got to keep coming up with content ideas, and sometimes it can be a little bit of a thumper. You gotta think a little bit, but there's always stuff working around back there.
Oh, the 6-week window in June and July is all anticipation, and we know you guys have it. We have it too. As we go through some of these topics, I'll give you some more quick hitters this week. Dan's got topics for you. We'll have the live stream on Thursday night, just like always. And some of the new stuff should be ready for the season. I'm looking forward to that. If you would, that like button is what Jerome's talking about. And thank you, Jerome. I'm glad that you already know you like the content, because, we try to do what we can around here. For those of you who are new, Rogue Yeah is the way to go. If you like something, you can also become a member and get into the Rogue Yeah discussions on the Rogue Nation Discord. If you do, you guys send me an email over here. Just join at the rookie level, get in there, get in the mix, and I think you guys will dig it. Now, as far as the topic, just your general thoughts, and then we'll get right into the questions, because I like how people that come here every now and then and aren't one of our regulars like to say, oh, they didn't start talking football until like 4 minutes in. Well, we got business to do, so get over it. But let's say, I wanted to focus on Patrick because, he's the focus of the team, right? But, this is an opportunity, I think, to retool and kind of rise to the occasion on both sides of the ball. How do you feel about it?
I think this is a great opportunity. The last couple of seasons, we've kind of seen a change in the way that they've approached the team. They brought in a lot of elder statesmen to win a Super Bowl. They won that Super Bowl. And as time goes on, those guys get older. And now we're seeing a direct change, really a youth movement, not only just on the offensive line. 4 out of the 5 starters last year were about 25, 26 and younger. That in one season, that's a dramatic change of events. Now you have the defensive overhaul. Dan Sorensen's gone. Ben Neiman was younger, but he's gone. You have Anthony Hitchens gone. Tyrann Mathieu gone. There's going to be a ton of youth injected into this defense, not just this year, but next year. The Chiefs have another 10, 11, 12 picks in the draft. The youth movement is being broadened. They're finding, Tyreek Hill is gone, 29 years old. They're looking to get younger, depth, speed, physicality, athletic ability. They're trying to get all of that while they still have Patrick Mahomes. And the one consistent is going to be Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce. And it's just going to be them trying to find ways to make it work. And I think they're going to find ways. And we all kind of know they're going to find ways to make it work.
Yeah, I agree. Hey, shout out to our buddy John Barrier. Want to say hello. I'm glad you're feeling better, John.
Yeah, me too, man.
It's funny, that is heart issues are something that are all over all the time, and nobody really knows about it until it touches your family. I used to work in cardiology for a long time in the early part of my career, and I know all that goes into it. So do the cardiac rehab, my friend. That's the best advice I can give you. That will definitely help. And I hope that you're doing better. Folks, John Barry is member number 1 to this channel.
Yep.
I wanted you guys to remember that.
Appreciate you, John.
When we launched those a couple years ago, he was Johnny on the spot, quite literally, and got her done. So kudos to you, old number 1. I hope that you're feeling better, and hopefully we can touch base and I can follow up with you a little bit. So that said, want to make sure everybody recognizes the moderator duo, husband and wife team that we have here. Liz awesome. And Aaron Morrow are in the house. Aaron was here last night. I don't think I've seen him yet, but I know Liz is here. So if you have a problem or if I miss something, you can let Liz know and she will shout at me for Absolutely sure. If you guys do want to support the channel, you can grab gear in the RGR store. I just put up a refresher on Twitter today for the Believe line. So like I feel the hype going, like let's believe again. As much as you believed in that Bills game, let's start that again. So you can get your gear over there. You can hit the super chats, and I guarantee you we will get to you. There's already a ton of questions. If you're new and you haven't been here before, my eyes are terribly bad. I'm super old. I'm about to keel over. So I need you to put some question marks at the beginning of your sentence, and that will help me find you.
He's not about to keel over. I promise. I promise.
If I do that on air, it would be unique, right? Hey.
Unique isn't exactly the word I would gravitate towards in that scenario.
You never know, man. Okay, let's get into it. Okay, we got Jerome. John actually had a comment too. I think the team is rostered right for a Super Bowl run. Just have to give them time on both sides to gel. I think that we need a veteran wide receiver and edge. What do you think? Dan, talk to me.
Thank you, John. And yes, I think you're 100% right, because when you're in the middle of these mini rebuilds, I think we know that the basis of the offense is what's going to keep this team afloat. We saw it in 2018 when they brought everything in. The offense was what kept them afloat. The defense was bad. You needed to find ways to get a couple pop games out of them to get to the Super Bowl. They just didn't have it that year. This year could be a little bit different, because outside of having the defense that they had, the older players that they have a lot of youth. Okay. So you're more likely to find down the back half of the season a defense that pops. We know Mahomes is going to have a gear. He's always good. Like him and Kelsey are good. This offensive line has a second year of chemistry. This offense is going to be good. It's going to be very good. You find a way to get that defense to pop at the end with young players that are getting it at the NFL speed. They're gearing up. Like this is the makings of a roster that can pop at that right time. That's all you're looking for.
I completely agree. It is about positioning and being able to strike. And that's totally where they're at. And I agree with you, John. A couple of pieces here and there. Need some development as well. That gelling, I think it will come. And I'm feeling optimistic. And I'm glad you are too. Terry, congratulations on the big win last night, right? Yeah, that's for the Avs, folks. If you don't know, my wife is from Denver. She's been a season ticket holder for the Avs for about 20 years until COVID. And dropped them then, and now you see what happened. We didn't get to go any of the games this last year. So, hey, we get what we get. But big night. My wife's been a fan for a very long time, got me into hockey. What little I know, I'm not as versed as Dan. Hockey's like my escape, because I don't know enough about it to be an analyst. I just get to enjoy it, Yeah. I purposely don't learn.
It's a good thing. It's a really amazing sport just to sit back and watch. It's the best sport to view live, in my opinion. It's even more than football. It's that much more fun, in my opinion, to go see live. But I've been a hockey fan my entire life since I grew up in Michigan. I'm a big Red Wings fan.
It's like law.
Yeah, you have to be. It's almost it's that close to Canada, so you kind of have to. It's required in your youth. I'm just glad the Lightning didn't three-peat. I can't stand the Lightning. I still can't stand the Avs from the 1990s. The Wings and the Avs. I can't stand them at all. But right now, been 20 years since the Avs won, and they're in the Western Conference now, so they can't really do much to the Wings.
You're happy now?
So
okay.
I'm happier. I will just say that. Because
I'm gonna say this, and all these hockey fans are gonna lose their minds. Cale Makar is the Patrick Mahomes of the NHL.
Oh my gosh, he's not.
I'm just saying. Come on, 29 points. Are you kidding me?
He's a defenseman.
I know. That's my whole point.
Mahomes of the NHL. He can't be.
I'm just saying. He's that kind of phenom, and I'm excited. For those of you who happen to be in Colorado, congratulations. If you are in Colorado, I have a special announcement. July 16th in Fairplay, me, lead singer of the band known as Canyon Creek, we're going to be back on stage for the first time in over a year. And we're going to be playing the highlight show at the fair down there. So if you happen to be in Fairplay on the 16th of July, come on out.
Nice.
You can hear us live. It'll be kind of fun. Let's see. Who will have a bigger breakout season, Ross Carell? Karlaftis or McDuffie? What do you think?
I like this question. I will always lean McDuffie because I think that the way the pass rush is generated, typically, it's going to force – they're going to try to get the ball out. It takes a little bit longer for that pass rush to get home. Typically, we'll see how it happens this year, but they're going to have more opportunities for the corners to have bigger plays, and I think McDuffie's going to be the guy that breaks out this season.
I like it. And I'm going to take the opposite. Although we all know how I feel about Washington corners, and
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the program, and I like McDuffie a lot. I do think that because of all the contract stuff and all that, I think between Chris Jones and Frank Clark, they're going to flush a lot of quarterbacks towards Karlaftis. And I think he's going to sit down some tackles and make a splash. So just for argument's sake, I'll take Karlaftis and go from there.
Would love it. Right? I am here for it.
Yeah, it'd be a nice development. Longmorn, how are you? Another one of our original members. How many LBs make the 53? And do you predict and what do you predict as a Dime Packers lineup? You have to have 5. You just can't go into a season without less. The question becomes, do you keep 10, 11 DBs, or do you keep 6 linebackers? Because I think it's an either-or proposition. I lean towards 5. And for a dime package, it's pretty clear to me that Cook will be the third guy in, along with the corners, Thornhill and Reid. And I think that's going to leave Willie Gay and Nick Bolton as the linebackers. In dime, no, you're only going to have one backer. So
yeah, one back.
I think it has the potential to be Willie, but I think they start with Nick just for the sake of consistency to begin the season.
It's going to be interesting because you have Brian Cook, who I would venture to say could play a dime backer role.
Mm-hmm.
I think he could do that, and you can then bring in a third safety, like be real unique with it. But I do think it's going to be a linebacker. The way that they have Nick Bolton as the mic, the green dot, would suggest, unless Willie puts the whole defense together this year, which he showed last year and the years before, he hasn't really been able to figure it out mentally all the time. The instincts are there, but an understanding still isn't all quite there. If he does it this year, it can be, but I will lean Nick as well.
Okay, fair enough. Thank you. Appreciate the question. Let's see. How do I say this? Aquaroga 7? Knock on wood.
Close.
The hype around Justin Watson is high right now. What are the real chances that he makes the team? I feel it's low. I agree with you. He is, in my estimation, he's the 4th guy fighting for 2 spots. And he's got how long's Josh been in the league? 6-year veteran on one side, Fountain's a 4 or 5-year veteran on the other side, and Justin Ross could be a phenom. They're all in the battle with him, in my opinion.
Yeah, this is the typical new guy comes in, he shows speed. Go back to Tampa. If you want, just go to Twitter, look up Justin Watson, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. His hype has been consistent in Tampa Bay. It will be here as well. They put the pads on, things will change. I don't expect him to make the roster.
I will tell you this very specifically. If he does make the roster, he must do it based on special teams.
Correct.
Which means he has to beat Therese Fountain out. So watch that matchup in particular in camp, because that's what I think the real A or B is.
I'm with you.
Thomas, who's going to have the better season, Juan Thornhill or Justin Reid? Ooh, that's a good one. I mean, according to Juan, in fact, you're going to see a little piece on this from me this week. According to Juan, he's going to be an all-pro this year. If that happens, he has to have at least 4 interceptions, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think Justin's going to be in position for more than that, to tell you the truth. So, in terms of a better season, who's going to have more tackles? It's going to be Justin Reid, in my opinion. But I think in terms, I'll do PBU/interceptions. I'll say Juan Thornhill.
Yeah, I'm going to lean Thornhill because it's his defense. He's been here the whole time. He's saying he's fully healthy. If you have listened to him over the last couple of years, he's talked about getting through the injury, getting back to health. He's confident. He's talking about being healthy. He's talking about having his best season ever. That tells me he's confident in his body. We've seen what his body can do. His rookie season, he was really, really good. He was really good. I'm very excited about Juan Thornhill this year.
Yeah. Did you see that Reid said he wants to keep 7 wide receivers? I did not see that comment.
I have not seen it.
If that's true, that's great. It's good to want things. Roster demands on the defensive side, I think, are going to make that tough, but it is an outside possibility. And that would be the key there to either a Justin Ross or a Justin Watson making it.
No, it's the key to Cornell Powell possibly.
Oh, is that what?
Bring it in. Bring it in.
All right. Okay. Dan has tripled down on that one. So
I will always be down. He's making it this year.
When he's right, I'll pay you 3 hamburgers for the price of one. What was Mahomes' comment on Tyreek? I didn't see, other than he said that, hey, we loved him when he was here. And that he was a little surprised by the comments. If you want to see the truth on how Dan really feels about it, that is not safe for public consumption for the rating of the algorithm in this channel. So it is a member video. You can join the memberships and go listen to Dan. I enjoyed it. So cheers.
I'm glad.
I am not allowed to string that many cuss words together on camera. I just can't make myself.
Unlike Tyreek Hill's podcast, that actually needed to be said. So there you guys go.
Well done. Kevin, do you think the defense will play shell or come up more without Tyreek? I think I'm going to be against the grain on this. I think they stick with what's worked for them. I don't think it's necessarily taking Tyreek. I think it's frustrating Patrick, and they're happy with the success that they had doing it.
That's what I've been preaching. This is not a Tyreek. This is a Patrick Mahomes figuring out. He wants to throw the ball downfield. Defenses know that. It doesn't matter who it was, whether it was Mecole Hardman, Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. It doesn't matter. He wants to get it downfield. Defenses are like, no, we don't want you to because you are that good. He's that good at it, period. So, yeah, it's Mahomes. They're still going to see a lot of it.
Fair enough. Mo asks, if Ross never had health issues, would you who would you say had a better receiver, him or Sky? I mean, that's hard. It's hard to say because if he never had health issues, we would have seen him probably evolve from what we saw his freshman season where he was better than Sky Moore ever was. But yeah, that was a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
It's hard to say that progression is there for me.
Yeah. So if the only way to do this is if you say Sky Moore as a junior, Justin Ross as a freshman. That's what you have to. There's nothing else. Like there's no other tape. There's no other projection. Justin Ross as a freshman, okay, was better than Sky Moore as a junior. Now, projecting him to get better route running because he still wasn't a great route runner. Right. He wasn't very good.
He's a physical beast.
Yes, he was more of, and I've seen what they've listed him at 205.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that. No, that worries me for a guy who dominated as a physical player. That weight worries me a bit because he can't do the same thing that he did in the NFL at that weight. Can't do it.
Yeah.
And
I'd like him at 197 and just torch people myself.
Yeah, his speed wasn't there, and still wasn't healthy when he ran his 40. That's why it was like a 4.7 or 4.
Right. But Mo, what matters is who's better right now. Right now, it appears like Sky Moore is likely to be, but that's what camp's for. We're going to find out.
Yes, we are.
Cody Lamp, are you expecting more NASCAR packages? I want more exotic looks. I agree with you, Cody. I want that too. But every time I start to expect it, Spags slaps me around and says no.
It's like he understands in this capacity that it's not 2011 and 2007 anymore. And the NASCAR packages with the big bodies that he has, he doesn't want to do in this day and age in NFL, yet he still wants to bring in the same body defensive ends. I don't get it.
I get it. Yeah, I'm with you. Jaden, hope you're doing well. Everybody check out the snazzy jersey on Jaden's avatar. You should contact him if you like those kind of things. You think George Karlaftis can be like Holly in 06? Which was his rookie season where he had 8 sacks. And do you think George K can do that?
That's asking a lot.
That's the high end of possible. I will say it's possible, but that is the high end for me. The good thing for Karlaftis is that he's going to see more dropbacks than Tom Bali saw in 06. The game has changed significantly since then, so he'll have more opportunity. But without, I mean, it's up to him and Chris. If him and Chris get off to a good start and they can't double easily, and what I mean by that is they can't like shift double with the center smacking on Chris and then coming out to help and allowing the guard to come help initially on Karlaftis as well. If they can keep that one-on-one, he has a shot. But it's got to come from getting flushed, in my opinion. He can't be the flusher. He's got to be the guy that the quarterback comes to, in my opinion.
Okay, so the most sacks he ever had in college at Purdue was 7.5. That was his freshman season. 7.5.
His lightest season.
I don't think 8 in his rookie season is impossible. I don't think it's very likely. I think 6 is the expectation I'm setting. Like the high end 6, maybe 7, if you're lucky, is the most I'm looking for. 8 would be, dude, you're going to be better than you ever were in college. We're talking like that's what we're talking about. So that's a really
I'm looking
hard
for 50 pressures. If he gets 50 pressures, Frank Clark gets more sacks.
Yeah. Everyone gets more sacks if he gets 50 pressures. Everybody.
That's what matters to me. As a front, can you improve by at least 15, 20% in terms of the total number of hits you put on the quarterback? That's what matters.
With you. Yep.
Just hit him. Belisarius, thank you for the question. And thank you, Jaden. Carlos Dunlap, Olivier Vernon. How much would they cost? Are they worthwhile to bring either of them in to add an edge? Carlos Dunlap, I like. I think you're going to have to pay him 8 to 10, though.
Agreed.
Yeah. I'm okay with that. Olivier Vernon, I don't think I'm okay paying that much money. I don't think he can demand that much. He might be more of like a $6 million player, but I don't think he has. I think Carlos has more juice left, I guess is the best way to put it.
He's also got more tread because he's been injured. The last couple of seasons, he's been injured. So you want to take a shot at a guy who's still got pass rush juice and you can segment into that third down pass rush role. Yeah, I think that makes the most sense.
Okay. Thank you, Gary. Another OG around here. Glad to see you.
What up, Gary?
Will the LB core be in the top 10 or top 15 on the defense? Man, if you're just isolating the linebackers, I mean, it depends how you're measuring it. If the defense is effective and they funnel ball carriers, short screens, underneath routes to the linebackers, they should make all the tackles and they should be in the top 10. If everybody spreads them out like I'm concerned that they're going to try to do, it takes the pressure off them and it gives them less chances to make plays. I think the edge goes to Willie then.
Yeah, this is an interesting one. I think that both Willie and Nick Bolton have the potential to be a top 10, top 15 duo. Probably more like top 15. I won't say top 10. I think that's asking a bit too much of young players still. But they have that potential. I think they complement each other extremely well in what they bring. I think Willie is much more athletic side of the sideline. Nick is much more get downhill quickly and get tackles for losses. He did a great job of that last year. I think he's going to do a good job of that again this year. And if you guys want to see what I think about Nick Bolton's first year, you can watch it on Wednesday in our film review.
Nice. Okay, so that's what's coming. There you go, folks. Makes it easier. Dustin, and thank you, Gary. Not a current topic question, but want to know what you guys think. Thought about the play in the AFC Championship when Mixon drops the ball after no one touched him on the down. We picked it up. We picked up the ball. Shaking my head. I don't remember that one dead. Yeah, I'm not recalling that. I know there was one play with Mixon where they blew it dead, and I thought that was it, but maybe I'm wrong, Dustin. I guess if you want, I can put on the blinders and go watch it again. I don't want to, but I will for you guys. Oh, good Lord. Thanks, Dustin. Teak. Hope you're doing well, and thank you for the support, brother. Appreciate it. With the improved defense, how much will it improve Mahomes' stats and more opportunities? If the defense is not so wore out, it could get them what? It could get them another drive a game.
Yeah.
And that's, you give Patrick Mahomes an extra drive, 6 completions on average, something like that, and another 80 yards. That's the key to a 5,000-yard season, folks.
Yeah, I love that. I think that you can hope for that maybe halfway through the season. Who knows? Maybe the speed and tenacity and the hitting of this defense early on might end up getting him some of those early. Who knows? We're going to have to find out. And I'm excited about the possibility, but I'm projecting that improvement later in the season into next year.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I like it. Thank you, Teak. Appreciate the support, buddy. And Jaden, this is your super chat question from last time. Oh, no, I didn't see it come in. I apologize. We did not see it on Thursday. But it was what it is. And the greatest non-Super Bowl Chiefs game, I think, is the 03 Chiefs team, not rather game, right? What about you?
Yes.
Ooh. I mean, yeah. Yeah, I mean, what was it? Was it 06? Was that the one that Priest went off in, or was that 03?
I think it was 03 because he was. Yeah, I think it was 03.
Okay, then I'm gonna just agree with Jaden. Well done, Jaden. Hey, where did you come from?
Oh my gosh.
So my wife adopted this Chihuahua here a couple months ago, and she's clearly scared about something. I don't know what it is because she just came racing into the office. Hi, Francis. Say hi to everybody. Yep. Never worth it with dogs and kids, right? Isn't that what they say in showbiz? Sorry, Spards.
It's all good.
Do you think that the D-line in question, and knowing that Cullen will being a 3-4 guy and Spags being a 4-3 guy, that maybe they might be thinking out of the box in some kind of hybrid defense? I certainly do. I just don't know what.
It's interesting. It worries me a little bit because they might do this more than be creative. Possible. I don't really know the mentality that Spags carries with the defensive line coach, but they didn't get much out of Brennan Daly as the defensive line coach, and then they moved him to linebacker.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess I don't know how well Spags works with said the defensive line coach in trying to come up with creativity, because from what I've seen, he's not the most creative person when it comes to defensive line. He much saves his creativity for the back end. That's what he wants to save it for.
And that's a fair criticism. I will say this too. I think he is kind of a guy that will be a little bit more hands-off with Cullen because of his track record.
Let's hope so.
And I view Daly as more of a motivational, move the chess pieces around the board rather than a technique builder, a developer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I see him as a strategist more than a teacher. So hopefully Cullen can be a bit of both. And so I do like the idea of throwing some 3-4 looks out there. Quite frankly, Leo Chanel's the key to that, because you can walk him down and he can start in a 3-4 and end as a rush edge if you want. There's options there. That's going to take some hit or miss, those Spards, and I don't know how quick it's going to come around. But thank you for the support and thank you for the question. Appreciate that. Is no news good news on Frank? Yeah, I think so. Good Lord, Probably. If he had any more bad news, it would be super bad. So, yeah.
Probably best.
Let's hope for that. Luis, how many wide receivers do you think the Chiefs will keep on the practice squad and the active roster? I will keep Justin Ross, Colin Powell, and Justin Watson on the practice squad just in case. I think that's more than fair. 3 guys on the PS, it works for me.
I don't think Ross would make it to a practice squad, if I'm being completely honest, because someone, considering the Chiefs took that risk, if they were to cut him to go to the practice squad, I think he might get claimed. I'm leaning to Justin Ross being an IR stash this year. He was held out of OTAs for whatever reason. If he's starting to get nicked up in training camp, I tell you right now, he's going to be on the IR. You can take that to the bank.
The Chiefs use IR to stash somebody? Say it ain't so.
Yeah, that's probably going to happen.
Timothy, I'm going to dare to say that the Chiefs will actually be better this year without Tyreek Hill due to the versatility compared to the predictability that the team had last year. What say you? What do you think, Dan?
That would be the assumption. The Chiefs are making a bet that, obviously it's great to have Tyreek Hill. They know that they wanted Tyreek Hill. They offered him a contract extension, a lot of money. They offered him a lot of money. He said no. So the bet you make by trading him away is that this can help Patrick in the chance that you bring in Juju, you bring in MVS, you draft Sky Moore. You hope that the offense gets more dynamic because you can spread it around a little bit. If he takes that step forward and getting his reads to other players and not just honing in on Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill first, that will make the whole offense more sustainable and more dynamic.
I agree with you, and I will go a step further. When he does make those secondary reads, guys like, we've seen Hardman do what he does when he gets opportunities, right? Guys like Juju and MVS, and I even think Sky Moore are going to make more of their opportunities than Pringle and Robinson did.
Let's hope so. Yeah, that'd be great.
That's the key. So I think that there's going to be something there, Timothy. I'm with you.
Yep.
Kyle, what do you think the order of the receptions for the Chiefs 1 to 5? Travis Kelce.
Yep. I would say Juju after that.
Yeah.
Yep. Then I would go McCole. Then I would go MVS. And then I would go Sky Moore. I think that's 5. Yep, that's 5.
Okay. I think MVS is second.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I just don't see him being that good. I just
I
don't.
I know. But that's part of it is I think Juju scares defenses more. So I don't know.
I just see him being more of an underneath guy that just gets a ton of targets. I don't know. Maybe that's me being optimistic.
Let's see what they do, because I kind of see Juju in that role. Like, get it to him early under and see what he does. But who knows? Just came here. Don't know if you answer this, but how long have you been doing Super Bowl for? I'm
not exactly sure your question.
I've never been to Super Bowl as media, I'll tell you that. But I have covered them in terms of like podcasting, that kind of thing, for going on, what, 9 years now? Something like that. It's been a while. Good Lord, it's hard to say that. Over under on Patrick, his stat line this year, 4,000 yards, 40 T's, and 10 ins.
I'm going to go over on yards.
I concur.
And touchdowns and interceptions.
Oh, I'm gonna hit the under on touchdowns, just by a little bit. I think it comes in at 30. I think they actually run a little bit more in. I think that, especially with Kennard, if he's playing, I think they can get better push, and I think the short yardage stuff can work out in the run game. If Andy's going to give the ball to somebody more, I think it's going to be in that situation if he thinks he can get it. So.
He does like to run in the red zone. Like, that's the proven Andy thing. He wants to run it in the red zone. So we'll see.
I'll go with it. Marlies, I mean, this is a visual platform, so this is the best one. You can hear us on podcasts. You can see a little bit. We'll eventually do video on NFL 33. So if you guys are looking for like the league perspective outside of the Chiefs, you can see us over there. And if you guys would go sub to that, it would be great. I know it's not, Chiefs centric, but you guys might dig it. And I'm going to be addressing a couple of the bigger elephants in the league here in a couple of days. So
there you go.
Yeah, the next pod's going to be fire. Don't play it in Cleveland. I'm just warning you. Smash the thumbs up if you would, please. If you believe that Mahomes is Derek Carr's daddy. Really? I gotta meet Mr. Carr someday. Scott, why will McDuffie not be Hughes or Baker? Wow.
Interesting.
Okay. Because he had 3 years of solid production where he was the number one corner on his college team. Can't say that for Hughes or Baker at the time. They both ascended in their, sophomore and junior seasons, if I remember correctly. Hughes was what?
I mean, Hughes was at
he was behind
UCF,
Henderson, wasn't he?
So
yeah, he was behind Henderson, wasn't he?
No, Hughes was at UCF, not Florida.
Right. Sorry, my fault.
So he was, but he wasn't at a great school, and I think Baker was the number one at Georgia.
All 4 years? No, I don't think so. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, McDuffie's played since he was a freshman.
Yeah, but I wouldn't say when he got there he was their number one. Great that I haven't looked at their roster, but
I guess that's fair. All right. I will also say this: the styles are different. Hughes Baker played more man in college. I think McDuffie can play man, but they didn't ask him too much. So those are the big differences, Scott. It's really going to be an interesting transition, given I think Spags wants to play man.
Yeah,
but I think he should play more zone. So he
should. He should.
Who is this season's Neiman, and what frustrating TV character name will you call him? Wow. Go ahead, Dan, because I'm struggling.
This is a struggle bus because I honestly am not sure who the Neiman's going to be. Mom, okay. No one's gonna like this answer, but it's gonna be what I'm calling it because we've seen it struggle, and most of the time we get other people to point at, namely Dan Sorensen. If Rashad Fenton makes the roster, I think he's going to have those moments where he's just unable to physically do what the Chiefs ask of him, like he was unable to do last year. And I think that when we look at that, I don't want to point to rookies being those guys because it's hard to adjust to the NFL. Fenton's been doing it for 3 or 4 years. He's going into his 4th year, and there are just things that he physically can't do, and was asked again last year to guard said people that he can't guard. And I think that's going to be more frustrating than people remember.
Fair enough. I don't have a better answer.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
David, do you think that they can actually stop the run this year? The AFC champs against the Titans. It's the only reason I remember in years. Only one I remember in years. Thank you. Yes. And I shouldn't put it all on a rookie, but Leo Chanel's a run stopper. Like, there is no question about it. He plays best downhill attacking a gap. Like, if teams want to try to run on him, the hard thing is going to be is when you catch them in personnel packages and then they run on him when they're set up for pass. But if they're going to try to run on him, Leo Chanel's going to play a role, and I feel very positively about that.
Just look at the corners that you're going to have. L'Jarius Sneed improved dramatically in his ability to tackle last year throughout the season. Trent McDuffie is no stranger, no slouch. He will come downhill, support. When you have when you have Brian Cook out there, he will come down in the run game. Say what you want to about Karlaftis. He's going to hit somebody. He's going to hit somebody. I think
he's great against the run.
Yeah, I think Frank Clark can still be productive against the run. You still have Chris Jones. Like this team, personnel-wise, will be better equipped to handle a run, a run team. Does it mean they're going to be better? We'll find out. It's all going to come down to tackling. That's been the biggest bugaboo of this defense and run defense. Been the inability to tackle. They can tackle this year. It will be so much better.
Yeah. Priest, I think that Dan already answered this one roundabout. Yeah. Who will get the Tim Moore treatment? Meaning a ghost injury that puts you on IR so you can develop. I think it's going to be Justin Ross if it does happen.
I agree.
The other one that I will say is that it may be, if Malik Herring has any kind of hiccup in his development in camp, that could be like another reason.
Yeah.
Because they do think he has upside.
Man. But two of them?
Yeah.
IR him twice? Yeah. I don't know, man.
Yeah, I would not be happy.
No.
But I don't know. Who runs the ball in 4th and 1 who isn't Mahomes? His name's Mike Burton.
Did it last year, Blake Bell.
Yep. Yeah. Blake Bell shouldn't be on this roster, so
he'll be on the roster because they'll carry 4
just to take those snaps.
Exactly. They have a plan.
For the sake of Patrick's knee, we keep Blake Bell. I'm going to need an announcement like Roger Goodell style at the podium, please, Andy. I would like to see Gordon and Ross earn spots on the roster. If so, do they have enough special teams players? If none come from the wide receiver position, no, one will come from the wide receiver position. I guarantee you.
Yep.
Otherwise, you'd have to play multiple linebackers. I mean, you basically need 4 gunners at a minimum, and you need probably another 6 guys that are on the higher end of the average speed. Or linebackers just don't cut it no more.
Yep.
Sorry,
and neither of those guys play special teams as gunners, so the odds of them both making it are almost actually impossible, in my opinion.
It's tough, yeah. Jackson, thank you for the support. Appreciate you. I didn't see a question, but I will look again here in a minute while Dan answers one. Very basic. Dan's leaning no. I think he's right on the edge. If he has a good camp, I think he has a shot. Gary, I'll tell you that. And that is, will Ross make the 53? Steven, are the Browns a mess? And who from that team could you trade for?
I don't think the Browns are thinking that they're, I mean, obviously outside of the obvious mess that is Deshaun Watson and them deciding that they were okay with that, which is what Ryan's going to talk about in his thing. We're not going to get on a rant today because I could spend the entire time that we have tonight left talking about what an absolute crap show that it is over there. They think that they're in a good position. They have a good defense. They have players. They have offensive weapons. I know Jacoby Brissett is the quarterback, but again, they probably think that they're okay. So I don't think they're just going to up and trade people.
I think the guy they want to trade the most is Mayfield.
Yeah.
Clearly, the Chiefs don't need that. I don't know how many teams are going to pull the trigger on that. And quite frankly, part of my piece is going to say that that's a mistake now.
Yeah.
You can't just take a year off and go with the Brissett option.
No.
That's stupid. Andrew Berry, I tried to help you 2 years ago. You guys ignored me. I'm going to call you out on. Sorry. Okay. I'm not going to rant about this here. Okay. Sorry. I'm going to get angry. I will say this. I think if they feel like they can't get Ward to re-sign, because I think he is up for extension this year.
They already gave him an extension.
Did he sign it? Okay.
He did sign it, yeah.
I was going to say that was the only one because I know he had made some noise about maybe not being happy, but if he already signed it, then hey, more power to him. Take the cash, bro. Jaden, what's more likely to happen? The Chiefs win 15 games or the Chiefs win 8 games, to be completely honest? What's more likely? 15's tough.
I mean, I'm not going to answer this question, Jaden. It's no offense to you, but there's no world I think either of these things happen. I don't think with the schedule they have, 15 is, we're talking the offense at their best and the defense at their best. I don't see that. 8 is incompetence. Mahomes gets hurt, things like that. Like we're talking
That's the only way.
inconceivable
It's
things.
8-game. Yeah.
It's the only way. So I refuse, no offense, Jaden, to answer your question properly.
I plead the fifth. Jaden's got another one. Which one is more likely to happen? Juju has an all-pro season or Justin Ross leading the team in receiving yards as rookie? Juju is an all-pro by very, very far.
Yes.
Very far. Luis, how many wide receivers did the Chiefs keep on the active roster? Okay, I got that one. Sorry, I must have jumbled these around, you guys. Saquon Barkley had a bad preseason and wants out of New York for a 4th or 5th round pick enough to get him. Let me know your thoughts. No, the Giants will not give him up. They're going to ride him out of the contract and let the running back go on, draft another one.
Run him into the ground is what they're going to do. They drafted him in the top 5. What was he, the 2 pick or something like that? He's not going to be got for less than a second at least, and they're just going to run him in the ground.
Yeah, agreed. Don't they have $10 million to spend on the D-line? Not really, Wink. They have 12.2 available right now, but you generally keep about 4 or 5, at least that's what Veach does, for mid-season injuries where you got to try to sign somebody off the street or whatever. So really you're talking they got maybe 6, 7 to play with at most. And even then, I think this year more than most, they probably need to keep a little bit in the bank there for a minute something at the trade deadline. I'm just going to put it that way.
Yeah, you got to wait for that contract to get signed by Orlando Brown too to extend a little bit more money.
Well, this is a good one, Steven. What team in NFL history has irked you the most, Dan?
Irked me the most? Like specific team or like year team, or are we talking just team in general?
I would say a team, a franchise.
Irked me. If you have an answer, go ahead. I got to think a little bit on this one.
It's very, very clear to me. The Jerry Jones own and run Dallas Cowboys. Emmitt Smith is nothing compared to Walter Payton. That's BS. It's always been BS. I'm tired of your trio BS from forever. I can't say anything else because I don't want to get leaked. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Walter Payton is the best running back that ever played. I'm sorry, Jim Brown. He surpassed you. And no one else is even close. Barry, if he had continued his career, yes. But Dan's ready to clap or slap me. I'm not sure which that is.
No, I'm getting myself ready.
And I have a good friend that played for the Cowboys in that stretch, and even he admitted it. We opened gaping holes for that guy. He didn't do anything but run a straight damn line. So enough with the Emmitt Smith talk. I'm done.
The Detroit Lions wasted Calvin Johnson, the greatest receiver of all time, Barry Sanders, arguably the greatest running back of all time. The combination of Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson absolutely wasted some of the greatest talent. I'm not saying Matthew Stafford is one of the greatest talents ever. I'm talking about Calvin Johnson. Ever. They deserve everything that they deserve Jared Goff as their quarterback and everything that's coming to them.
Oh, yeah. Okay, fair enough. Miles, hope you're doing well. Thanks for the question. Is Joe Burrow the reason why the Bengals were good last year, or was it because of all of their weapons are number 1 receivers on rookie contracts?
This is a good question.
It is a good question. It's a lesson in team building in that they all had the opportunity to be that good because you had so many of them. But you have to give credit where it's due. T. Higgins is criminally underrated because he plays across from Jamar Chase, who turned what was like the most dropped preseason in the history of the NFL into the best rookie season.
I mean, we all I knew that Jamar Chase wasn't going to drop a bunch of passes. Right.
But I mean, like in terms of a segue, turning a season around, I mean, that's pretty impressive. I will say this too. They also caught lightning in a bottle, in my opinion.
They did. Their defense is garbage. It's garbage.
Did Jesse Bates retire?
No.
Is that what I read? Okay. I thought somebody said Jesse Bates retired. I was like, what the heck?
No.
Because yeah, I mean, that would knock them down several more steps. But I have trouble predicting that the Bengals are going to be able to repeat that consistently.
Yeah.
Maybe
no, you look at Joe Burrow was one of the most he's an accurate quarterback, don't get me wrong, but he was also one of the most accurate quarterbacks ever, like last year, in terms of deep ball throwing percentage as well. Mm-hmm. T. Higgins is fine. He's a really good downfield catcher. I don't think he's very good anywhere else. I don't think he's a good route runner. I don't think he can create separation. I don't think he's a good yak player. I think he's really good downfield, but he's aided by Joe Burrow's really good deep ball percentage throws. And then you have Jamar Chase who can literally do everything. those throws that completed last year maybe don't all happen this year. So I would imagine that it comes back to earth a little bit, and their offense isn't going to be as good as it was.
But I think he's still going to be a very good quarterback.
Yeah, I think Joe Burrow's a top 7 quarterback in the NFL. I think he will be. I think he's a very good quarterback.
In fact, if you're talking about like the highwaymen of the AFC, and folks, if you know country music, the highwaymen were like 4 dudes. They're all lead singers, that kind of thing. I think Joe Burrow's one of them.
He'd be 4 for me, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. He'd be 4. Because, I mean, Patrick Mahomes is Willie Nelson. That's really not much of a question. Josh Allen is Waylon Jennings. And I think you have to say that Herbert is Johnny Cash in that kind of thing. Yeah. To be number 4 in that group is still very, very good, though. So I'm not trying to like
that's the thing. These guys are legit superstars. It's ridiculous.
What was that other band that they put? It was like Roy Orbison and Tom Petty. It's the Wilburys, right? Like, I'm
not going to be able to help you out with that one.
You're killing me, Smalls. Okay, it's good to be young, I guess. Thank you, Miles. Appreciate you. Steven, are the Chiefs better or worse than last season? They're a little bit worse.
I was about to say, on paper, they're worse. But they have the potential to be better. And that's what you're going for.
And let me put it this way. Steve Spagnuolo's coached the teeth out of Eli Manning as the quarterback, and they barely made it into the playoffs, and they ended up winning a championship. So I'm not bothered by them being a little bit worse. They're still easily a playoff team, and quite frankly, they're still in the hunt for a number 1 seed. So
yeah,
it's all relative. Doug, do you think that that KC might hide just Ross in the iron? Yep. Now Dan got to it first. I was like, oh, I hadn't even considered that really yet. Yeah, I'm dumb. So that's okay. I don't have a football question tonight. Sorry, Jeremy, but I find it odd that Dan started having knee problems exactly around the time you started planning to move. Yeah, that's a long move from where Dan lives to where I live. So
yeah, that's a bit.
That would be tough. But I will tell you this. We are making progress on the move. I think we have a destination almost. We're almost there. Things are going to look weird around here from my perspective. You'll see Dan a little bit more probably while I'm unavailable. And when you do see me, it might be via phone. It might nice. Be ugly for a while. But when I get there, I will definitely do a live from the new locale, and I think you guys will dig it. So it'll be fun. Thanks, Jeremy. And Madman, if Reid wins the Super Bowl this year, does he retire? And his friend Sean Payton, become the Chiefs head coach in 2023? The first half, I could see it.
I could, yeah. I could see it for sure. I don't know about the second half, though.
Yeah, I tend to doubt. I mean, quite frankly, if Andy Reid retires, if you're Clark Hunt, there's only one thing that you can do. And that is you go to Patrick and say, who do you want to be the head coach?
Yep.
I mean, that's really the only option. Anything else has a tendency to knock you down in terms of your output. Could it be Matt Nagy? Could it be Eric Bieniemy? Yes. Will it be? I don't know. I thought Eric Bieniemy would be running another team by now. So what do I know?
Sean Payton's going to be the coach of the Dallas Cowboys next year, so it doesn't matter.
I kind of think so, too. Like Jerry kind of digs him. I'm just saying.
He's going to throw some money at that guy.
Here's the Brinks truck. Back it all the way up. Thank you, Liz. If you would hit that thumbs up, that helps folks find us, especially now in the off season when it's just the 300 of us. You know, those of us that are serious.
Yeah, right.
We need to add some more of those. So, hey. Spards, thank you again. Appreciate it. Knowing that Clark Hunt wanted to protect the number 1 pick for the KC draft in 23, what are the chances that Veach, with all of our picks, goes big for a high round trade next year to make a splash? I honestly think it depends on the outcome of this season.
Yep.
You dress corner, you dress to edge. You have the tackles possibly that maybe you're happy with. I think Orlando gets done as much as some folks maybe don't want it. So what can you do to make a big splash? Another edge or another corner, in my opinion. Those are the 2 biggest splashes. My dogs are losing it upstairs now. Sorry. And Avery's here, so we all have to take a break from the football talk. But those are the things that I think could be possible, Spards. Thank you for your thoughts. And that's kind of where I'd aim him at. Hi, Miss Avery. It's too bad she's not cute, Dan. I'm just saying.
All right. It's ridiculous.
You're in trouble, my friend. Preachers at Hell County. Starting defensive line week 1. Clark, Jones, Noddy, Karlaftis.
Yep. Word for word. That's who it is.
Is it a realistic stat for Sky Moore to have 450 plus yards and 4 touchdowns?
Yeah.
If he hits the ground running, I think that's within striking distance. I like that. And I appreciate you, Jaden, for not saying, can he have 900 yards?
Yeah, I really do appreciate you being, because he's going to still be brought along a little slowly. We know that with rookies. It's not going to be right out the gate. So I think 500 is probably asking for a really good time. I think 500 is really attainable.
I'm just here to play with Avery. Sorry.
That's fine.
Thomas, who has the edge at the 4th linebacker spot? I thought it was Cochran. From what I understand, Cochran's nowhere near in the mix, even with the twos.
I don't even think he's on the roster. I didn't see. I looked at the roster the other day. I didn't see a Cochran on it.
Oh yeah, no, I think Jack Cochran's still on it.
Okay.
But as I understand, Chanel, Elijah Lee, and Carter have been rotating with the ones.
Okay.
Next to Nick Bolton and Willie Gay. Easy dog.
And that's Carter is actually someone who we're going to talk about a little bit tomorrow. Is who I think makes the roster with the video we have coming tomorrow. Who makes the roster? People maybe forgot about. About Jermaine Carter. He's probably going to make this roster, be a special teams guy and a rotational, probably backup guy that can come in and get tackles if he needs to with it because of injury, because he's got experience. So that's.
And I'm really glad you bring that up, because he's a quality backup at that.
Yeah, it's not even like he's just some dude. He had 88 tackles last year. You don't do that for just being some bum you pick up off the road. So
absolutely. But Thomas, I know everybody likes Cochran. He's got some athletic ability. I think he can push. Let's see what he does in camp. I think maybe practice squad is in his future. Preachers, my Sutter membership isn't renewing. Card says it's wrong, but I've checked all that. Anything changed in the system? Someone else had a problem with this recently too, and they had to basically just totally log out, like take their card out there and say, I don't want to be a member anymore, and kind of start from scratch. It will give you your membership status back, so don't worry about that. But I would give that a try, preachers. If not, email me and I'll see if I can ping support or something. But Justin Watson hype is Justin Ross, the odd man out training camp, might make the difference. I think it definitely will make a difference. I think Watson's probably the guy farther down the roster, though.
Yeah, I don't think, like I said, I don't think Watson's going to make the roster. So we'll see. We shall.
Robinson.
See.
What was his first name? Robinson, the 2003 DC, or Bob?
Couldn't tell you.
Is it Will? It's not Will. No, I can't remember. Who would you rather have less? It's a good one. I mean, Robinson misused some safeties for a couple of years. It could have been good. I think that was the Pollard years. I talked to Jerome Pollard last year, and he was not very happy with his usage. I don't think I blame him. So I'm going to go Robinson. How's that?
There you go.
I'll take Matt Scientist, Bob. GOAT question. If Patrick Mahomes finishes number 1 in yards and touchdowns with 4 Super Bowls, does that make him go, or does he need 8? I mean, they'll be Tom Brady fans forever that won't give him the time of day.
If he sets the records for yards and touchdowns and has 4 Super Bowls, he'll probably go down as one of. But because Tom Brady has as many Super Bowls as he does, he will always be the topic of discussion. The bar is going to be set so high for quarterbacks because of what Tom Brady's achieved, and there's nothing you can really do about that.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Jaden, thank you again for the support. Last time I was on here, I asked you who was your favorite Chief and your least favorite Chief. Okay, it's my turn. Okay, my favorite Chief ever.
Thank you.
Oh, it's a toss-up between 2 players.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But in the end, being the best at your position in history, which is a consistent argument, Derek Thomas has to be my favorite player because that kind of excellence doesn't grow on trees. And no offense to Bruce Smith or Lawrence Taylor, who I think Derek patterned his game much after, much like Wilbur Marshall did for the Bears after Lawrence Taylor as well. Like that's iconic. That's game changing. My least favorite player, I don't know. Who's the kicker that took over after Nick that missed all those like 38-yard kicks? I don't remember. But whoever did their job the worst, let me tell you that. How's that? Thank you, Jaden. And that question was all time. Yeah. Okay. Good. I answered one correctly the first time out. Preachers, thank you for your support. How many DBs did we keep? Like in the past, they generally keep 10. 5 and 5 is what they try for most years. I think they could go 11 this year, or they could go 6-4 and only keep 10.
I'm projecting 10 because it's how they have guys like Fenton and Boodle that can, and even Johnson to an extent, that can play corner and safety. So they might be looking at 10 and just getting some interchangeable guys in there that make the roster.
I don't think the safety depth is that great.
No,
it's
it's
four.
not.
I think Zane Anderson might make it.
See, I think Key might be better than Anderson, but we'll see.
Yeah, we will see.
Even
Thank
Boodle.
you, preachers. Yeah, I like Boodle at safety too. I think that could work. Priest Mahomes, thanks. But what I was saying, do you think that they will get cut? Who do you think will get cut that's been on the team for a while? Okay, I must have misunderstood before.
Well, I don't think anyone is going to get cut during training camp because Ben Neiman was not just not re-signed after the season. So
right, who's been on the team a while?
You guys, if you have listened to me the last couple of weeks, and I've been on the radio talking about it a little bit with Sterling Holmes, is that I do think that Rashad Fenton might be a surprise roster cut. I don't think he's going to get cut. That's not me saying he's going to get cut. I'm saying it's a guy that could be a surprise, considering the competition that's been brought in. If he doesn't take a step forward, it's possible. But that's like the only kind of thing the guy has been around a little while that has a possibility, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, fair enough. Folks, we're going to hit it into high gear and close it up here with the super chats that are remaining, mostly Mr. Gooch. But username Lamo, we are constructively critical of all the players that are in the draft. And I think we're dead on our evaluation. So motor is one thing. It's great to have a good motor. If you can't win reps, your motor's worthless. You have to have the skill to beat the man across from you, or motor doesn't help. So, hey, it is what it is. I think that he has the upside to get there. So does Dan. Yes, we were not happy. I think that there were more explosive, more predictably dominant players in that draft that they could have had. They made their choice. We're going to have to live with it.
Yep.
James, I'm a Clyde believer. I think he rushes for 1,000 yards. Do you guys think that he is the reason? What do you guys think is the reason that he's been underwhelming when it comes to injury, usage, or just talent? People expect a superstar, as they should. He's a first-round pick.
It's tough, man. He's in a system that hasn't played to his strengths. The offensive line when we got here was a finesse inside zone team. He is a duo gap power scheme runner inside the tackles who's really good out of the backfield as a pass catcher. And when you get to the NFL, you need to be able to pass protect. When he was a rookie, he couldn't really do it. Last year, I personally think he took steps in his technique and ability to get in front of some of these blitzing linebackers. It's going to be about getting healthy. The team using the offensive line they've now constructed around him as more of a power gap scheme time to time. Stop running him on outside zone, pretty much period. Don't do it unless you're going to have him be under center and have him be the actual tailback, not in a shotgun, and actually use him in the passing game. That's what I'm saying.
I like the passing game piece in particular.
Yeah.
Let him do what he's good at. Emulate what they did at LSU his senior year and go with that. I think that's enough. Sexy, do you think the Bills will regress this season since they lost Brian Dable? I think that's a legitimate question, and I think they probably do regress a tiny bit. But I think the defense has improved, and I think Josh Allen is maturing to the point where he can run the offense himself too. So as long as they don't come in and mess with him, I don't think it'll be but maybe a game, maybe two. That's about all I see.
Yeah, it'll be fun for them. I think that last year they started to run a bit more, 2 tight end sets and get the run game going a little bit more. Maybe that was Brian Dable understanding something. Maybe they go away from that this year and it might hurt them a little bit. But at the end of the day, Josh Allen is going to carry you to a lot of wins because there are there's few guys that do what he's done and was able to do and overcome the limitations with the accuracy that he's been able to. He's not the most accurate quarterback in the world, but he's so much better than he was. And it's just hard to have that be derailed.
Agreed. I'm going to let you take this right after I say this, or let you think about this. Make sure you guys go follow Back Talk Bros. Their new channel for Stevie Gooch and Aaron is over there. You can still see them on Rogue Head Huddle, but they have their own thing. If you haven't seen it yet, it is much more open and honest and unadulterated. I think that's the word we're using. So go check them out and go sub to them here pretty quick. Okay. If Patrick goes down tomorrow with an injury, would you take the 1999 Elvis Gerback or the 2010 Matt Castle? Who do you want?
What are you doing to me, Jaden? But the answer is very clear. It's the 2010 Matt Castle.
Okay. I have to agree.
It's not really
I about stopped
close.
following the Chiefs because of the Rich Gannon and Elvis Grbac thing. So,
Yeah, it's not really close.
yeah, it's really not. Will Orlando Brown play this year under the tag, or will he hold out? The Chiefs can't really spend a top 2 money and barely in the top 10. Probably not even a top 10 left tackle. I think he is a top 10 left tackle, or he will be this season. And no, he can't hold out. I don't think he can afford to hold out. He's basically only played on his rookie season. He will play under the tag if they don't get a deal done.
I tend to agree.
Okay. Jeremy, come on now. It's Barry, and it's not close. The problem is Barry hung it up too early. It can't be Barry.
Why?
It would have been Barry. It would have been Barry. I will give you that. Barry Sanders would have been the best ever if he had played, under duress 3 more seasons and statistically been able to beat the guys in front of him. I think it was a mature and a rational decision for Barry Sanders to not continue to reward the people that didn't reward him for all of his efforts. So I applaud him for taking his health back. Belsaris, bigger regret, drafting Hardman over DK or drafting Clyde over Jonathan Taylor or T. Higgins? Ooh. I was not big on DK. I did not think he would evolve into a very good player. And without Russ Wilson, I'm still not sure that he's as much of a force as people think he is. So I'll take the Clyde over Jonathan Taylor.
Yeah, the problem here is that I love Clyde the player. I always will. It's the taking him in the first. But if you're going to take a running back in the first, it's going to be Jonathan Taylor because he actually fits the scheme that you're trying to run an outside zone. And
amazing. What a concept.
I wouldn't have taken T. Higgins in the first. I wouldn't have taken T. Higgins in the
I wouldn't
first.
have either. Agreed. I'm with you. Good question, Bill Saris.
Yep.
Britton, hope you're doing well. So if they put Ross and IR, who has to make the 53 first?
He has to.
Yes, they have to be on the 53 day 1, and then they move them off. Same thing's going to be true of Lucas Niang, unless he's unable to perform in camp. In which case, I can't remember which list he goes on, but
it's the PUP list, right? The physically unable to perform list.
The camp PUP list, and then they transfer to the season PUP list. I can't remember, but you're probably right. That stuff drives me nuts. Then I would guess, I would guess they would try to re-sign one of the wide receivers, but they would have to cut for Ross to make the 53. Yeah, if they're going to do that, it's most likely a 1-for-1.
Yeah.
And that probably, to me, if Ross makes it, I think it's because he beat out Josh Gordon. If he doesn't, I don't think anybody's coming for Josh Gordon. He's 31 years old. So I think that they can do that revolution and get him back.
Yeah, I can see that. You could probably do that with Fountain. You could probably do that with Powell. You could probably do that with Watson if that's how it ends up being. I don't think there's anybody outside of Justin Ross that you could cut and someone would come get.
Liz is quitting because I said Herbert's Johnny Cash. I think we got to give Herbert credit. If it hadn't been for Patrick Mahomes, I would have wanted Herbert on this team. I mean, that's how much I liked him in his draft class. He was my favorite. And over Burrow, because I thought Burrow was smiles and great targets. You know what I mean? And I don't know.
Burrow.
That's fine. You take Jamar off that team. I don't know what he is anymore. But that's fair, Liz. I hope that you'll stick around. Ryan, what's up with that Canton? Canton? Canyon.
It is a Y. I can see where he sees the T, though.
It is. Yeah, I'm with you. It's a creek here in Colorado. Check out the band Black Pistol Fire. I can do that. Rock and roll. And you were at Red Rocks a few weeks ago. I'm glad that you were. Everybody should be at Red Rocks at least once in their life. It is the best place in the world to see a show. I'm just going to say that. How do you see us matching up against the Bills this season? I think it's going to be much of the same, to tell you the truth.
They're very evenly matched. Like, these teams are very evenly matched, and it wouldn't surprise me if it was another AFC divisional type game where whoever gets the ball last wins.
Right. It could easily be that. Okay, I think I missed something, but Mr. Gooch is here. Thank you, Gooch. This might be the best live ever. Walk out of a meeting, see Avery on Rogue, going Rogue. Oh, snap. And a dog every TV. I know, right? Like, we're a family hour at this point. And she's still sitting here on the arm of the chair because it's thundering out there and she's panicked. But thanks, Gooch.
That's one thing I'll tell you guys right now is if you don't like the fact that my daughter gets up on here, I don't really care. She's going to be a part of this as far as I can tell you.
Yeah. Hey, there's no way around it. She is going to be here, and she should.
Yeah.
Let's see. I think I missed somebody. Oh, it wasn't a super chat. Cool. So I got that. So Knicks fan, thank you, Mr. Knicks fan. Nice to see you again. Defensive receivers, I'm excited to watch and see what happens. I agree with you. That's like the spark, right?
Yep.
Everybody was disappointed with the defense. Everybody thought, oh, hey, without Tyreek, what are you going to do? Like, I think that's going to be the focus, honestly, of the preseason. And I know for certain that not just local media, but national media, that's all they're going to talk about. So we're going to get our fill. I am definitely sure.
Oh, yeah.
So I hope you're ready there, Chiefs Knicks fan. And thank you for the support as always, my friend. Appreciate it. Scott Province, Greg Robinson. Thank you, Scotty. And thank you, Liz. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's Greg. Yeah. And didn't he go on to New Orleans to do something important? Oh, wait. Yeah. He put out bounties. Yeah. Okay.
That's right.
Mr. Gooch, again, if Derek Thomas was not the answer, then we're going to have to chat. Thank you, Gooch. I'm glad you agree. Not very much of a battle there. Lynn Elliott, thank you. Yes, Mr. Can't Kick in playoffs. You are absolutely right, Brian Gooch. See, this is what happens, folks. When I lose my mind, Gooch reminds me of all the things that I've forgotten. So thank you, Gooch. Appreciate you. William, welcome to the memberships. Glad to have you with us. I think that you will dig Rogue Nation. Just send me an email. I know I got one from someone earlier this week, but I didn't get a name that matched their membership. So if you would send it to me again, that I'll try to match that up. And William had a question to follow up that with. How does someone get access to the All-22 film if they want to do a film review like you guys do? Well, unfortunately, it's really hard right now.
Yep.
Because what we've used in the past is what was it called, Dan? The product that always broke from the NFL.
The NFL Game Pass.
That never
which is
worked.
currently under construction again, by the way.
Yeah. I personally feel the NFL is trying to limit what we and a lot of other analysts do on film.
Yep.
Because they took it away just before the season last year. They brought it back in such a way that you could look at it, but you can't search. You can't do any of the things that we need for tools to use it effectively.
It made it so difficult to watch.
It's next to impossible. When Seth has trouble getting through a ball game, like, he's been doing that longer than I've had kids. So like that says something. And it's just a pain. So right now we're all hurting pretty good for film, to tell you the truth. Jake, Patrick goes down the season. Yep, I answered that one. I think we're good. Hey, everybody say hi to Cole. You know
Hello,
him
Cole.
from How About Them Chiefs? Go check him out. Do you think one of you can grow a beard, please? This doesn't count?
My wife is not the biggest fan of the beards. So this is about the scruff is what we get and the scruff is what we do. That's what it is. This is all you get.
Bro. Yeah, that's all I get.
It looks good and I'm okay with it.
This is all hollow even when I grow a full beard, man. And honestly, Cole, with you on YouTube, why in the hell would I grow a beard?
I know.
Win every time. So, hey.
There's no point.
The Bearded Master Cole, you can find him over on his channel as well. What position do you believe the Chiefs will make the top priority next offseason?
Defensive end.
Yeah, I mean, even if George Karlaftis is better than both of us think that he will be, and he's a 10-sack kid as a rookie, Frank Clark's gone. And Josh Kano and Malik Herring are questions. You got to go get another one. Easy said and done. Maybe two. Kennard has a nasty edge to him, and Lucas doesn't. That, I think, should make up for stuff when we polish up on experience. Unfortunately,
That's
no.
not how that works, unfortunately. I wish it was, though.
I mean, and honestly, this was the argument people were making for not Spencer Brown, but the kid that just got drafted to the Saints. Trevor Penning. He's great. He's nasty. He finishes well. If you can't win the rep initially, you don't get the chance to be nasty. So I don't care. Kennard, you're right, though. He does have that finish. But I will say what he doesn't have in terms of the footwork that Lucas Niang has, he does have the upper body strength, and their reach is very similar. And so as a whole prospect, as long as he can stay healthy and available, he's probably a little bit ahead of Lucas Niang.
I would imagine so.
That's my thought. Thank you, Pono. Appreciate you. Hope you're doing good out there. Someday I'm hoping to get back out. I get a lot of pressure from my folks out there. So, hey. Scotty has now confirmed the activation of the High Gooch button. Dark Horse UDFA late pick that will make an impact. Talk to me.
I do think it's going to be Isaiah Pacheco, but as a kick returner. I think he's going to make an impact as a kick returner.
I like that, man. I like that a lot. I hope that he can pull that off.
Yeah.
I think Mike Rose is going to be a core special teamer, and I think he is going to give you some defensive coverage snaps late that I think will help. Let's see. I think I missed a couple here. Oh, and Gooch said hi, Scott. He's back.
Nice.
And then let's see. I got that from Liz. Thank you, Liz. Okay, so last one, and we'll wrap it up for tonight. Ryan, thank you for the support. Appreciate you. Just because I love you guys. And who's going to have a bigger year, Juan or McCole? Ooh, it's the draft class.
That's
I like
good
Ryan
one.
White. Thank
That's
you for
a
all your
great
support.
question.
It
Yes.
is a great question. Okay, who you got? Because you know where I'm going.
Juan Thornhill is going to have a better year.
You are correct, sir.
And that's only because I think he has a chance to be an all-pro safety like he does. Chance, not necessarily he'll get there. I do think McColl's going to have a 1,000-yard season.
Do you?
I do. I am all invested in the McCole Hardman reinvigorating his finding being that Z receiver. He's, in my opinion, one of the only guys in this offense that can be a Z receiver outside of Sky Moore. I think that's it. I think it's him and Sky. And Sky's got McColl's got 3 years in the playbook. So right now, he's the Z receiver. He can do that. So we'll see.
I'm totally with you. And Alex agrees. He thinks
Let's go, Alex.
Man, if they spread the ball around and we're talking about a 4,000-yard season, Travis gets one of them. There's got to be 3 other guys. So
I think he's going for 5. I honestly think he's going for 5.
If he does, then I think McCole gets it. I agree. If he can't quite get there, I think McCole might be the guy that ends up at like 900, something like that.
That wouldn't surprise me.
Which I still see as a victory for him and his evolution. 900 yards and 7 or 9 touchdowns.
Yep.
I'm fine with that. So anyway, that's it for tonight. Thank you guys for being here.
Appreciate
Thanks
you.
for all the questions. We can't make this show without you. That's the best part of it is it's your questions. So thank you guys. We very much appreciate it. And all of your support tonight as well. I know it's the off season, but I just want to say this out loud. The veterans report in 30 days.
Whoop.
30 days. So we are getting there and we're going to get there. I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be another fun season. Thank you all for being here tonight. Dan has video for you the next couple days. I have video for you coming up in the next couple days. And then we'll have another live on Thursday. If I can make it work with the house stuff, I will definitely do that because I like the 3-man shows on Thursday too. So
it's fun.
It is, right? You all have a great night, and we'll talk to you next time.